Okay, Revelation 10. All right, so now this is going to get very interesting. So let's keep in context what we're reading here. It's very important to understand the context of Revelation 10. Okay, first of all, we have the seven seals. So we've had the first five seals are opened right now. The sixth seal is when Jesus comes in the clouds of heaven. And the seventh seal is the wrath of God. And the seventh seal is the seven trumps of God. And we've read the first six trumps, first six voices uh, of the seventh seal up to Revelation 9, right? So we've got, we're almost there. We're almost at the end. All right, so keep in context where we're at in this prophecy. Okay, so let's begin here. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth, and cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roars. And when he had cried, seven thunders uttered their voices. And when the seven thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Seal up those things which the seven thunders uttered, and write them not. And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven, and swear by him that lives forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that are therein, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the sea and the things which are therein, that there should be time no longer. Okay, you've probably heard this phrase before, that there should be time no longer. I've heard a lot of people say that time is going to stop. And that's science fiction. You know, you see, if you watch the old Twilight Zone episodes, everybody sort of stood in place, and then you got one guy walking around picking everybody's pocket or whatever. I'm not sure. But this is not that at all. Okay. When it says that there should be time no longer, that means this world that we are living in is finished. It's over. The 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 clock is down to triple zeros, if you will. All right, so there's no more time. So everything, that's it. Game's over. That's what it means. It doesn't mean time stops, like the Twilight Zone. But I hear a lot of people talking as if that were the case, and that's not the case at all. That's ridiculous. Okay, the idea that time stops is getting really close to, I mean, right there on the edge of stupid. Okay, let's continue. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, now remember, the voice of the seventh angel is the seventh of the seven trumps, which is the seventh seal. When he shall begin to sound, the mystery of God should be finished, as he has declared to his servants, the prophets. All right, very simple. Does that make sense now? That there should be time no longer, and the voice of the seventh angel, when he makes his sound, the mystery of God is finished. All right, the clock is down to zero. Game's over. All right, and the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which stands upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet. as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. All right, that's the end of Revelation 10. It's a short chapter. Takes 11 verses, right? Now, I would like to get into Revelation 11 because now it's going to get very, in my opinion, very interesting, very cool stuff. And again, just like people are screwing everything up in the first 10 chapters, they're going to screw up chapter 11 and so forth. It's very simple stuff. If you understand it in the correct way, it makes a whole lot of sense, and it's very interesting, very cool stuff. I don't. The thing that really fires me up, though, I'm telling you, is I've listened to all these people talk about Revelation, and they have no idea what they're talking about. They have no context of what they're reading, and it's screwed me up for the longest time, and it just drives me nuts. It drives me nuts that I spent the first 30 years of my life believing falsely, believing that I was a super monkey, right? I thought I was going to evolve into a, Superman. Well, I was fooled, and so it drove me nuts that I was been fooled for so long. So I started reading the Bible. I didn't want nobody to fool me, and lo and behold, I got fooled again and again and again. And it's constant, nonstop, all the time. People are out there talking like they know what they're talking about, and I'm guilty of it as well. That drives me even more nuttier. I'm a hypocrite because it drove me nuts that I was fooled, and here I am teaching things that aren't true, you know, because out of ignorance, because I just assumed this or that. And we're all guilty of it, but once the truth is shown to you, and it's like a light comes on, and you're like, you either have to admit you were wrong or you have to stop being honest, right? And so that's what I want to help, if I can, anybody who watches this and understands what I'm talking about when I share these chapters of the book of Revelation and the insight. It's important to understand the context of what is being written. It's very crucial. And once you understand the context of where we're at, then it just becomes very simple, in my opinion. And it should be simple. It shouldn't be complicated. All right. You shouldn't have to write entire books and make, a couple of $1,000 in order for somebody to understand it. You should just have to be able to read it and understand the context of what's being written. All right, so in chapter 11, it's going to get into some very, the two witnesses and so forth. That I'll get into that next time, but it's going to get, uh, it's controversial in a lot of ways because a lot of people that teach a variety of things regarding that particular subject, if you will. But it's not that complicated. Just hang in there and hear me out, and we'll see where it goes, okay? That's enough.